Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Tom Sherry. Mark Hanrahan is off this evening. Well, we're going to begin this evening with a look at the forecast. We're closing in on a hot weekend. And of course, hot weather typically means high fire danger. We want to check in now with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo to find out more. Jeremy.
Hey, Tom, that's exactly what we've got in store as we head into the weekend. Unfortunately, right now, it's a sign of things to come. Temperatures still sit at 76 degrees and it is 10 p.m. Over the weekend, we have some high daytime temperatures, and even those overnight lows aren't looking like they get too cool, so there's little reprieve from the heat, and for that reason, we have heat advisories in effect for Saturday and Sunday. High temps 95 to 105, overnight lows upper 60s likely for most of the region. 91 on Friday, 95 on Saturday, 98 on Sunday. That's where we're at here in Spokane, but if we zoom out, you can see most of that heat kind of centers in central Washington and down across the Lewis and Clark Valley. Widespread triple digits expected from Omak, I think Chelan, Wenatchee, and even down into Yakima. You're likely there. Walla Walla, you're there as well. Sunday, even hotter for parts of eastern Washington and North Idaho. There is little reprieve from the heat this weekend. The good news is we do catch some cooler temperatures on Monday, but unfortunately it comes with an elevated fire threat.
Well, a major milestone marked for police tonight. Spokane police, all of their backlog sexual assault kits have been reviewed and the testings are almost complete. KREM 2's Cody Proctor joins us now with a breakdown of what this means. Cody.
Well, Tom, think back to 1984. The Terminator said, "I'll be back." Magnum PI solved crimes and Prince was king. But for Spokane police, 1984 is also the year some of their backlog of sexual assault test kits date back to. Now, almost 40 years later, those kits and more are getting some answers for law enforcement tonight. 1,381. According to the Spokane Police Department, that's how many of their backlog of more than 1,400 sexual assault kits have been tested. Police officials say only 23 kits still need to be tested. It's a big win for Spokane police, who began the process of testing all of their sexual assault kits 2 years ago. It's part of a statewide push to work through the backlog of untested kits. Spokane police received grant money from the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs, allowing them to assign 2 investigators to the cold case sexual assault cases. KREM 2 spoke to SPD last summer about the grant's impact.
It gave us people and time. It let us remove myself and the other detective from current caseload and focus on this. And really, if that grant wasn't part of this, I don't think that would happen.
That grant funding ended June 30th. Through the testing process, as of June 28th, detectives made almost 300 matches with DNA already in the combined DNA index system. They also identified 4 criminal defendants, filed 6 criminal charges, including rape, assault, and kidnapping, and ID'd a suspect for a California homicide. Spokane police arrested that suspect, Harold Carpenter, back in February for the 1979 murder of Patricia Carnahan in the Lake Tahoe area of California. The DNA that helped solve the case stemmed from a rape kit from a 1994 investigation. At the time, officials say the rape case was deemed unprovable, and the kit wasn't tested until this year. Spokane police officials also say the final push to test the remaining 23 kits is taking place. Now, Spokane PD says of the 1,404 sexual assault kits they had, 12,050 are completely resolved. Of the remaining 154 cases, most are just waiting on lab results. About 65 referrals were also made to Lutheran Community Services Northwest. In the studio, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
Well, now to Night Beat with a quick look at today's top stories. EMTs and paramedics with American Medical Response say they're ready to start striking next weekend if a contract deal isn't reached. We've also learned that AMR has issued warnings about possible legal action because they say union members violated federal law by picketing outside what it says is a healthcare facility. KREM 2 News obtained this memo sent to AMR's Spokane employees today. It says if they strike again, they can permanently replace them. Teamsters Local 690 calls it a scare tactic, says it's only strengthened the resolve of union workers.
Our members are not going to be bullied by the employer's tactics, and they're going to hold strong for what they deserve, and that's a living wage and decent working conditions.
In fact, we've also learned after 3 strike votes this week, a majority of Teamsters support going on strike if a deal isn't reached by early next week. In the meantime, former Idaho lawmaker Aaron Von Ellinger has filed an appeal regarding his rape conviction. According to the document, his attorneys say the state failed to prove that the rape occurred beyond a reasonable doubt. They're asking for his conviction to be vacated. Von Ellinger was convicted last year of raping a former State House intern known only as Jane Doe. That rape happened in 2021, and he was sentenced to up to 20 years in prison. Well, after several months of community feedback, WashDOT has selected one of the final 2 designs for the final segment of the North-South Freeway. Construction on this part of the freeway is scheduled to begin in 2026 and is expected to last about 4 years. The community preferred design includes potential for placing more pedestrian bridges and any future development of the land. The design would also keep the I-90 off-ramp to Altamont Street. Well, that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text the word NIGHT to 509-448-2000 and we'll send those stories right to your phone. In national news, federal health officials have approved the first over-the-counter birth control pill today. An FDA panel of health experts unanimously recommended it can be sold without a prescription in May. The pill needs to be taken every day at the same time within a 3-hour window. Advocates say this eliminates obstacles for many people.
This is really important for all of our communities to be able to access contraception, again, without the hurdles of a prescription, for example, needing to have a doctor to get a visit, take time off work, get childcare.
The CDC estimates about 45% of U.S. pregnancies are unintended. The Catholic Medical Association raised objections to O-pill and says it's concerned for the health and safety of women across the United States. Well, tonight, Hollywood is completely closed for business. Members of the Screen Actors Guild voted to go on strike today after failing to reach a deal with major studios. The last time actors and writers were on strike at the same time was 63 years ago. The writers' strike had already impacted late-night TV and some daytime programming, but now, with actors on the picket lines, films could be delayed indefinitely, and all the new fall television shows will also be put on hold. Well, a rare corpse flower is in bloom at the Amazon spheres in downtown Seattle. Amazon workers have named the plant Morticia. These plants only bloom every 5 to 10 years on average and are known for giving off a smell similar to rotting flesh. There it is right there. Morticia bloomed yesterday, which means the flower is only expected to last for a few more hours before it wilts. We spoke with a horticulturist who explains why the flower gives off its famous scent.
It's very, very smelly. I said it kind of smells like, like a dead animal. Hot garbage was been used. It's barely fragrant right now. By tomorrow, there'll be no smell at all. First 24 hours is when it can be pollinated by its pollinators, which are flies and carrion beetles in nature.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. People were able to make reservations today for their last chance to see it and smell it in person. Well, the plan to move Tokate, an orca captured in Puget Sound more than 50 years ago, is moving forward tonight. We are learning that trainers have begun getting her ready for the big trip from Florida to the Pacific Northwest, where she will be released back into the wild. She has been introduced to the sling that she'll be transported in and will be learning to swim into it, and her health is also improving. And new tonight, the state's first detection of the West Nile virus this year has been found in Yakima County. The county's health district says mosquito pools positive for the virus were collected from a waste treatment facility. There have been no human or animal cases of the virus. The Department of Health recommends using bug spray and wearing long sleeves and pants while out at night to avoid those mosquito bites.